So, Bob, thank you so much
Yes.
for being here
Thank
today.
you for having me.
And you recently were honored with the Distinguished Educator Award. And just tell me, how long has your career spanned?
Well, I was an educator in Helena for 43 years.
I think you taught my sister-in-law, Lana.
Yeah.
And then you taught
Your
her
kids.
kids, and you taught somebody golfing that's part of our team now.
That was 30-some years.
30-some years.
I
So
coached for 43 years and taught for 43 years.
43 years. Wow. Wow. What were the best years that you can remember for that?
Well, in sports, all of the years were good. And in school, I mean, honestly, I don't have a group that I didn't love.
Wow. 43 years is amazing, Bob. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it was basically the rapport that I was able to get with the kids that was most important to me.
Well, you were a mentor and a friend, and you taught all of them just valuable lessons in life. And
I'm pretty fortunate. If you read some of the things, or some of the things I get feedback on are, we loved the math, but.
Right. Yeah.
And the but was what else we learned.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was
So-
more about all the other lessons
It
in
was.
life than it was the actual academic component of it.
It was, and that's the part I'm most proud of.
Well, you're just an amazing human being, and I was your neighbor for a number of years, and just
Lucky for us.
so grateful to you for all that you've done for our community and
Well,
for our
thank you.
kids. And
Thank you.
it's such a blessing to have teachers that care about kids.
It was an honor to receive the award, and I've actually received it a number of times. From when they started it, I think I have been fortunate and blessed enough to receive it 10 times.
10 times? Oh my gosh, wow.
You're very, very fortunate for a middle school teacher.
Wow. Did you start teaching at CR?
No, I actually, it's a long story, but I started at Jim Darcy
Okay.
when I was in Candy, and I got married in college, and I got a job at Christmas time, which was a real present because we needed the money, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started out there and went 10 years, and then went up to CR.
Okay. And so 33 years at CR.
Yeah.
And now Mr. Campbell was the principal, and
For
he's
part of it, yes.
here working at the Sergeant at Arms as well, here
Yeah.
in the Capitol during the legislature.
Yep.
And both of you are now continuing to serve our community.
Yes.
in the
It's a good group to serve
legislature.
with him, and Mr. Chauncey too is
That's
part of our
right.
crew, so we kind of feel like we're at Old Home Week while we're here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what year did you retire?
2020,
Okay.
at the end of right, COVID.
Okay.
My last
Okay.
few months were on the Zoom.
When you look back, what is that year like? What?
Well, it was a very strange year, but in another aspect, having every student face to face on the Zoom every day was kind of fun too, because we could do things that you probably wouldn't do in a classroom, but you could pick up on the thing, and that was it was really fun. I mean, I spent more time preparing for that than I ever did a normal day of teaching. And you could do little fun things like, come in as a cowboy hat today and
Yeah.
sunglasses tomorrow. And
Yeah.
and the class, my last class, 2020 or 2024 last year, was the last class I had through 8th grade. And I was lucky enough to give the commencement speech for their graduation.
Wow. That's incredible.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was an honor.
Wow. Do you keep in contact with any of the teachers in that whole community at CR?
I do keep in touch. Some of those teachers were ex-students too.
I know. It's
That's the
sort-
part that's
yeah,
crazy, yeah.
It's
But
a
yes,
smart-
I do, and I still somewhat keep in touch with the kids.
Yeah.
I have kids that are 56, 7 years old now.
Yeah, well, I remember running into you guys, and it seems like there's always kids that are Mr. Tipton, Mr. Tipton, and
Yep.
are.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate.
What kept you showing up every day,
The kids.
year after year? The kids. They loved you.
That was the part I miss to this day.
Yeah.
If somebody says, "Are you glad you retired?" Well, sure, I'm glad I retired to do things with my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I miss the relationship part with the kids, not the work part,
Mm-hmm.
but the relationship part.
What are the things that stayed the same, and what are the things that changed over 43 years? Because I can't even imagine that's such a big chunk of your life.
Yeah. I have to say that from the beginning, when I first started, we had really good support from our community,
Mm-hmm.
and I still had that 43 years later. And I think it makes a big difference when you have that experience, then you might be able to just keep moving straight through with much change.
Mm-hmm.
Although the whole scene is changing,
Mm-hmm.
you don't change much
Mm-hmm.
as far as your values and stuff. And so if you keep those, then the kids, no matter what year it is, expect the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something with the kids that they would tell you I had was very high expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And they would, at first, would look back at it and go, well, that's off a high. And then it would be, I have high expectations because I believe that's what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Help them reach
It's very
their fullest
important. Yeah, it's very important because
potential.
you kids or adults, all of us, we
Yeah.
do what we're expected. I mean, if you set the bar down here, we'll go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
If you set the bar up here, they'll go to that bar.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, it's something that I think as we get older and grow into adults, everybody has such a greater appreciation for our teachers. And I remember a lot of, like Walt Chauncey, he was my principal when I was
Uh-huh.
at Capitol High, and Bruce Campbell was the principal, and you were a teacher of our kids. And as we age and time goes on, I think there's just such a huge appreciation, especially as life goes on, looking back at our teachers that got us to where we are today. And that appreciation grows as we move on in life, and certainly I think that's true for you.
well, I hope that people do, because that's a very important position.
It absolutely is. You made such a huge
Well,
impact.
There's a lot of great teachers out there.
There are.
A lot of great teachers out there, yeah.
Well, I just wanted to take time today
Oh,
to honor you in a meaningful way for your 43 years of service and 10 Distinguished Educator Awards. And
Well, I appreciate it.
I
You know I
just-
care for you and your kids. And
our community, obviously.
yeah, we've always tried to be active in helping someone else.
And giving every day, you and your.
You can tell it's not emotional for me,
No, it's been wonderful.
but I appreciate it. I appreciate the support and the time. It was great.
I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to know you. And I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of our entire community, for everything you've done
Wow.
for our kids and for the families in our community.
I was the lucky one.
That's come shining through day after day, year after year, Bob. Mr. Tipton. When I run into my teachers, I still,
Yeah.
I
was
can't
the-
call him Bob. I
know,
have to
I-
call him Mr. Tipton.
We appreciate the respect. It's nice to have that,
Yeah.
but it was in all of this, in the whole thing, I was the lucky one.
Well, thank you. So
Well,
proud
thank
of you.
Well, thank you.
So you'll, I'm sure those notes that the kids wrote for you
I
are
will send you a
things that
couple of
you're
those if
gonna
you want.
save for
They
the
each have
rest of
to-
your life.
Yeah, they each have to write some kind of synopsis.
So who nominated you for this one?
A young man, Mason is his name.
Okay. And
But-
what year did you teach him, Bob?
2020. He was a seventh
Okay.
grader.
Okay. And had Candy retired at that
She
time?
retired. She retired a week before I did.
Okay.
Because she said she had to go before I did. It was
Okay.
just her little contest.
Yeah.
I'm retiring before you do.
Right.
So she did, yes. She went the same year.
And when you're not here in the capital, are you doing anything else right now, or just grandkids and family time?
Well, we're going to do some vacation time.
Good.
We were able to go to England, Scotland, and Ireland last
Wow.
fall.
Yeah.
Well, 1 week each, so 3 weeks. And now we're going to take one of those European cruises down the river.
Fun.
And then spend some extra time in Paris.
Oh, wow.
All places we haven't been. So
Yeah.
it
And
was,
is it just you and Candy?
no, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law go with us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And are they
they're-
retired now too?
Yes.
So you're all living the good life.
Yep. Like I said, I've been blessed.
Well, you've been a blessing to all of us, and I just wanted to honor you, and again, just so
You
proud
did.
of you. I'm just grateful to you.
Well,
And I just hope you know that, and
I do.
hope people,
I
hope
do.
you can feel it.
I do.
For all of us.
There's
because
all kinds of,
you're
honestly,
cream of the crop.
there's so many different kids up here that I taught working in this building.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you see them come in and their parents come in, and the guys will tell you that I work with. It's like, we get sick of hearing, Mr. Tipton, what are you-" and it's like, did you teach the whole town? And I said,
Pretty
after
much.
43 years, pretty close.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Pretty close.
Yeah. All of the kids grow up, and then,
Yep.
you know, but
And
you're,
then their kids
you're
are-
their teacher forever. No matter where they're at in their life, you are always their
Yeah.
teacher. And
I
that,
used to say, when you start telling me that I taught your grandpa, it's time for me to think about this. But I did.
oh my gosh.
Well, like I said, we've had kids come through town and call and say, hey, you want to go have dinner? And they're 57 years old.
Yeah.
58 years old. Yeah.
Well, I ran
Been a long
into
stretch.
Bob Ridgway
Oh, uh-huh.
this summer. I ran into him and his wife at the fair, and we were chatting for just a couple minutes, and then there's somebody else and another student. Oh, Mr. Ridgway, and he's off to the
Yeah.
next thing. But
Yeah.
just made teachers make a huge impact in
Well, we hope so.
in such an age like 8th grade. You were a saint to take on those 8th graders.
People
because I
think that middle school is a little bit rough, but
it's rough.
we call it energy.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it.
Well, they are. That's why I stayed there. They are so full of energy.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was nice to go coach at the high school because they're a little more mature and you
Yeah.
could actually have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
It's really neat to be able to go out in public and see people that you, like even walking in here, seeing her. I haven't seen her forever.
I know.
And then kids, that's the best part for us.
Well, I didn't realize
Relationships.
you had 10 of the awards. That's just something
Very fortunate.
else. And those come right from the kids, right? I mean, that's what I think what makes it so special is
It is.
you're honored, of course, by the adults in the community, but when it comes from the kids, it's like
That makes a big
that,
difference.
that matters.
It
yeah.
matters, yeah. It makes you feel good, that's for sure. But it makes you feel blessed. And then there's other great teachers who don't, necessarily get the same, but they're great teachers. We're very fortunate.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really, really good teachers
Yep.
in this community, and hope they always feel appreciated
Yes.
and respected and
Yep.
honored for what they do.
What they do.
So what year did you start teaching?
1978.
78. Okay. Wow.
So I could actually tell people I taught in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, 10s, and 20s. 6 different decades. Now, it wasn't 6 decades of teaching,
Right.
but I taught in 6 different decades.
Yeah. Wow.
That was pretty,
Wow. That's incredible.
yeah. Yeah, it was a good run.
That was a good run.
It was a good run, yep. I enjoyed all of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it, I guess.
So after you retired, that's when you received the award. The 10th award was
Oh,
5 years after you retired.
Yeah, it's been
Or
5 years.
after you
Yeah, and
retired.
then-
Wow.
Yeah.
The legacy continues.
I've got retired ones, yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, they appropriately honored you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Can you just share a little bit about your, like where you were born and raised, and
Oh,
just
sure.
like just a personal
Sure.
side of your past,
Sure.
like school, family?
I was I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, but that was because my dad is a Missouri boy, and then he was already married to my mom, who's from Glasgow.
Okay.
And so they went to Missouri for about 9 months. I basically was born. Then they moved to California, and then when I was 3, they moved to Glasgow.
Okay.
And Mom was born in Glasgow, so she's a Glasgow person total.
Okay.
Dad met her out of the Air Force.
Okay. So he served. Our
He
country.
served our country.
Wow.
Yeah. So I grew up in Glasgow. Our family did, and had a great upbringing. It was a beautiful place to bring up kids.
Yeah,
to
for
bring
sure.
up kids. So yeah, so that was it, and then went to Carroll and met Candace, and that was her at the end of her sophomore year, and then we evidently couldn't live without each other, so we got married after her junior year. I had a half a year left at Carroll, and she had a year left. So that's why I say I was out student teaching when somebody left and they just moved me in.
Wow. So you were just finishing student teaching.
Yeah, I really wasn't, yeah.
Wow.
I probably wasn't Mr. Prepared.
Wow.
But it worked out perfect.
And then your career started in Jim Darcy.
My career started there, and half a year there, and then the next 9 years there before I went up to CR.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was lucky. I've been lucky. Glasgow was a great place to grow up as a kid.
Yeah.
And you have wonderful parents, and then, like I said, I went to college and had all these plans. I'm gonna go to 4 years of college. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna live with my 2 buddies that I had made. We're gonna live there till we're 28, and then we'll look to see if there's some marriage material. Until I met Candace, and then I guess the marriage material was right in front of my eyes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
So, and we've been married 47 years, so it must have worked out too.
Wow, that is so incredible.
Yep.
What a great story.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Success on all levels. And then 3 kids, and now how many grandkids?
3 kids and 6 grandkids.
Awesome. And then what year did you start coaching?
Mm,
Was that
well,
right away too?
I coached something right away, yes.
Okay.
But then started at Capitol with the girls basketball program when Bob Ronan was the head coach.
Okay.
And kind of bound. I'm one of the few people who's coached at both high schools.
Wow.
And then they asked me to. One year, the craziest year that my wife almost divorced me, I coached girls basketball, boys basketball, and then the fast pitch softball team I started at Capitol.
So she didn't see you for a year.
Right.
And did you have kids at home at that time?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It wasn't a smart move.
No. That equation.
No, I think I came home a couple times with her standing at the top of the stairs with her hands about right there, and I knew with it.
Yeah.
I was in trouble.
Time to give up one of the
give up some sports,
Yeah.
But it was, I think I decided that year, if I'm not mistaken, I might have made the trip to Missoula 13 times.
Oh my gosh.
Just to Missoula.
Wow.
So yeah, that was a little bit much. But it was kind of fun because I knew all the kids at Capitol. And then to go over there and coach with these guys made it kind of, for me, really interesting because I could show my kids that I taught and my own kids, they're all the same.
Right.
The kids at Helena High are just like you. And
Right.
in fact, my boys probably have more friends or as many friends from Helena High as they do Capitol High. So that was good.
Yeah.
I liked that part of it.
The rivalry at Crosstown is there, but
It's
then
there.
outside of that,
Oh, yeah.
we're all friends.
Oh yes, we wanted to win that one.
Yeah.
But in fact, when my oldest was playing golf on the Capitol team when I was coaching the Helena team, my boys at state tournament, who were pretty good, and so was my son pretty good, said, "So who are you really rooting for, Mr. Tipton?" I said, "Oh, that's a piece of cake." I said, "I want my son to win the state championship, and I want you guys to win the state championship, so
Perfect.
I can have both."
Yeah,
That would be
everybody
perfect.
wins.
That would be perfect.
For
yeah.
sure.
But anyway, so yep, I had a lot of fun.
And here we are, another vigilante parade coming up.
Yep.
And last year they did a little report on that on the TV station, and that's such a great tradition.
It is a great tradition.
And I hope that keeps
they keep
going,
going.
every
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think most people in town do.
For 43 years, you saw the Vigilante Parade and all the festivities on that.
Yep.
Getting out early, walking downtown, getting lunch.
Being just part of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, cheers to
Thank you.
43
Thank you.
years, Mr. Tipton.
Thank you.
You're the best of the best. You really are.
Thank you.